I'm a little bit of Southern.
And I'm a little bit of West Coast.
And together, we're the Nashville Darlings.
And welcome back. This is episode 4 of the Nashville Darlings. We are so happy that you are here with us. I am joined by Leslie Scott, and we have a special guest in the house today. Actually, she's just going to be kind of hanging back,
giving us her opinion.
Yeah, her 2 cents while we kind of go through this episode. We just thought it would be fun for her to join in and give us her perspective on things. Mersman Gilbert.
Thanks for having me, ladies.
So, Leslie, how's your week been?
Well, if the lights just flickered, so I'm going to guess that it's going to storm yet again. One more.
Is it literally starting right now? Or was that the air conditioner?
It may have been the air conditioner. But it has been storming for, 2 days now, y'all?
No.
It's
been storming like every other day, every other afternoon. I can't get a full sunny day. What happened?
I'm good with it, though. I thoroughly enjoyed coming into the office yesterday morning, and it was like 8 o'clock in the morning, pitch black outside, stormy. Oh, it just makes my heart so happy.
Does it make you happy? Does. But doesn't it make you tired? It makes me
which makes me happy that I have a reason to take a nap.
Okay. See, I can't nap, and then therefore, I don't feel productive on those days.
I'm a napper. I can be productive and nap every day.
Oh, I wish I could do that so much. Can you nap, Megan?
I am a great napper.
Really?
Yes, I napped yesterday.
I'm so jealous. I am so jealous. Excuse me if I'm wrong. Okay. The summers in Tennessee. This year feels different. It feels more stormy, right? Because I feel like we would at least have 2 weeks of solid sun. And then people would be like, we need rain. And then it would be...
I feel like we're lacking in storms this year.
I do too. Definitely severe storms. I feel like we're lacking in severe storms. Mm-hmm.
I'm like, it was just the other week, I was like, where are these storms? We always get a good summer afternoon storm.
I don't know why I've experienced something completely different.
Next week is all sunshine, so
I'm so excited for that.
And the kids go back to school the following week. Well, not Megan's, but mine and Roxanne's. Well, shoot, just mine because Roxanne, yours is always in school.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it'll be our last solid week of summer and swimming and all the fun stuff. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited it's going to be sunny next week. But yeah, these storms, man.
So I say we need less, and you guys say we need more.
We need more.
We need more.
We're nappers, though. All right, Roxanne, what has been your win this week, though?
Carson, he's been holding the door open for me. Aww. Like a little gentleman.
That's so sweet.
That's adorable.
It's very cute. And now... But it's also kind of bordering on OCD. He won't let me not let him hold the door for me. So now it's a whole thing.
I think they go through that phase. Yeah, I mean, I think Barrick definitely went through that phase too, where it was I have to hold the door open, so he runs ahead of you, and it's a big deal.
He's got to unlock it. He's got to open it. He's got to open it or hold it open for me. I walk through, then it's a whole procedure. But I think it's very sweet, and I appreciate it. So I'm giving him lots of praise. And then my woe is I'm trying to buy him some back to school clothes, and everything is awful. I can't find any store I go into, the boys section is one rack, and then there's a million options for little girls. And then if I shop online and I find something cute, they want me to pay $40 for a t-shirt. And I'm not going to do that. Or
you find a friend like Megan. Or here's what we'll do. Megan has handed down all of Wyatt's stuff to me. And so I'm getting ready to go through Barrick's clothes. I'll just hand them all. And it's good stuff too, man.
My kid would only wear Under Armour for the longest time. So that's pretty much 90% of his clothes are Under Armour.
If we could have a hand-me-down circle, I would really appreciate
that. I bought those J. Crew shorts, y'all. I don't know if you like when the boys wear the shorter shorts. I do. It's very Charleston in South Carolina to me. So I splurged on the boys' J. Crew shorts. I'm just going to have to pull them out and just pass them on because they'll probably fit Carson now.
Oh, well, that would be lovely. Yeah, because I'm like disappointed in don't you guys find that though? Like,
I don't know. I got all my clothes from Megan.
Well, that's right. Yeah. Well, when you're shopping, Megan.
Yes, but my son is almost 9 now, so everything is so expensive.
That's true.
It's just getting ridiculous how expensive it is. Now, I will say I shop online a lot and wait for the sales.
Yeah. Do you have one favorite online store?
Ooh, for shoes, 6pm.com.
I've never
What is
heard of
that?
that.
It's a great place to buy kids' shoes.
Okay, I'm gonna have to write that down.
6pm.com.
Okay.
Yep, cool.
And then clothes.
For Wyatt, it's pretty much the Under Armour.
Really? Yeah. But they make good quality stuff.
And they do. And they run their like semi-annual sales where you can do the outlet on there too. So
She's handed me clothes that still had tags on them.
Well, that's because my son didn't like the color, probably.
Oh.
Get it right, Mom.
He's very picky.
Now you know. Okay. I'm
yeah.
taking notes.
Take notes. All right, so I guess my win for this week would be Addison made a very sweet comment to me the other day, and I feel like that's a win because she is in this moody teenager stage of life where I think she hates me all the time. And we stopped in Chattanooga to see my great nephew. God, that's so weird because I'm not old.
You have a great nephew?
I have a great nephew, but to be fair, I was 5 when my niece was born because I'm the baby. So, yeah, I mean, I have a great nephew.
Okay.
But when he's like 6 months old, and when he saw me, he just got we FaceTime every day, y'all. But when he saw me, he got the biggest smile on his face. And so later that afternoon when we had gotten home, she said, "Mom, I just think it was so precious that Finn would just look at you and every time he would just smile." And I was like, oh, that's really sweet.
Oh, that made you feel good.
It made me feel good, yeah. And then my woe would be my son has started arguing back with me, and it's gotten pretty bad, where I literally have to say, no, stop talking. No, stop talking. And it's so constant. It's so draining. I'm ready for him to go back to school.
And does he stop?
No. Took us 30 minutes to get him in bed last night because he just wanted to argue that his bedtime was 30 minutes later. So he had literally filled up the extra 30 minutes by arguing with us.
Okay, can I ask you, because this has just been on my brain lately, how long does bedtime take you with him? Like on a good day?
So we eat early, like we're elderly. So by the time dinner's over, they usually have about an hour and a half to play, and then at 7 they have to all get in the shower and get ready, and then he's in bed at 8, except it's been summertime, so we haven't had a schedule. And honestly, if he stays up until 11 p.m., he stays up until 11 p.m., and it's only because I don't know about it.
Yeah.
But if he makes the mistake of coming downstairs at 8 o'clock, it's, hey, buddy, it's time for bed.
Yeah. Yeah. See, with Carson lately, and I was just curious, I feel like bedtime takes a solid 45 minutes to get done, because I get him in bed and then he wants to talk, and then he wants the water, and then and then he's running around, and then he's, we're trying to wrestle him back in, and I'm like, I just want you to lay down and close your eyes and say goodnight, and that's all I want it to be.
I will do everything beforehand so he has no excuse. Like, here's your bottle of water. And I'll set it by his bed. And here's whatever else I know you're going to ask me for. Like, I go ahead and just do it so he can't, like, fight with me.
Yeah. How about yours, Megan?
Mine has always been very good about putting himself to sleep. Like, there's times we'd be like, where's Wyatt? And he'd already be asleep.
Rub it in.
So, yeah, he's always been easy peasy as far as that aspect.
Yeah.
But he also didn't sleep through the night until he was 3.
Okay.
So
there was a give and take.
There was, yes.
Carson he'll do that at his grandma's house.
Really?
But he won't do it at my house. He also gets himself dressed at grandma's house. But he won't do it with me. No, Mom, can you put on my socks?
No, buddy.
No.
I know that you can do it. Grandma said you're so good at it, and I want to see what Grandma sees.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I started calling him out on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No way, Jose, you got to do it yourself. Mom has no time for that.
I got no time for this. Well, I think it's time that we talk about that really happened. So, Leslie, what really happened to you?
This is the dumbest story ever. This actually might be embarrassing. I was at... Oh my gosh, this is so bad. So I was at a showing and we were on a farm. They said something about how, guys, I was not raised on a farm. I was raised at the beach. Okay? Let's just preface that. And they said something about how the bulls and the cows had to be separated because they would mate or something to that effect. And I said, and what do they produce? A baby bull cow?
Sorry.
Oh my gosh.
I did not know. I was not aware at the time, God, I was so old, that a cow is just a female bull. And then a bull is the male, and a cow is a female.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Y'all say that like y'all knew that.
They're both cows. One's just a bull and one's a cow.
Yeah. But what was funny to me is you said it was a baby bull cow.
Yeah, because I thought that
It was the same
bulls
thing?
mated with bulls and cows mated with cows. I did not know.
Okay.
So what comes from a bull and a cow? A baby bull cow. Y'all, they bought their home with me. I was very uncertain after that moment. That,
Were they skeptical?
yeah, like how is she running a real estate company?
You know what? You're not a farmer.
I was going to say, yeah, we don't sell cows here.
Yeah. I mean, not everyone
Knows? I mean,
Everyone
come on.
knows that.
You guys just said it like
No,
you knew.
only reason I know is because my in-laws started the whole cow thing. I probably learned that recently.
Okay, fair enough. I'll take
Okay.
it. All right.
So if it makes you feel any better.
Anyways, my clients looked at me like I had 14 heads, and they had to explain to me. Gosh, can't believe I just shared that with the entire world.
Well, I have a funny one. Luckily, this time it wasn't an embarrassing story of something I did, but it was something that I had a client do. We went to go see a house that had 10 acres. And we're out on the back deck, and we're looking at all this beautiful woods and just admiring everything. And she says to me, "So, Roxanne, if a tree falls, who comes to pick up the tree?"
Like on their land?
On the land. In the woods. In the 10 acres of forest behind them.
That they were going to have to maintain if they purchased?
Yeah. She says, "Well, is there someone that comes and picks up the trees?"
Like a garbage truck for trees?
I think I gave her a look, not trying to be malicious, but I just kind of was shocked at the question. And I looked at her, and I think the look on my face prompted her to be like, "Well, I was just wondering if there was like an HOA or something that would come and pick those."
HOAs for 10 acres of land.
And I said, "Well, there's not any other houses around here, so I don't think there's an HOA. I'm pretty sure there's no HOA with this property. And if there's a tree that falls, you could just leave it, because they fall in forests all the time." I couldn't believe.
You're gonna have to go out there with your chainsaw. Like, is what you should have gifted her a chainsaw for a closing gift.
But at
Did
the
you do
same
that?
time, no.
Should have done that. That would have been a great closing gift.
No. If you have a tree fall in a forest on your property, you're not going out to every single tree and cutting it with a chainsaw, right? You can just leave it if you wanted to.
We own 105 acres, and I don't know how that land is managed because I am married. That's his job.
Well,
I don't know, Megan, you have, 11?
if there's a tree that falls in the forest, are you running after that tree and trying to maintain? You just leave it, right?
That tree is gonna sit there until
Unless it's like interfering
Right.
on your
But we
mode
had
area.
So one of the very first bad storms we had this year, it took out a bunch of trees and branches in our woods, but it's all wooded. So for the most part, we have trails in there, but for the most part, if it falls, it falls.
If it falls, it falls, right? Okay. I'm not going to give too much information, but she came from an area where there's no forest, you know? So I wouldn't, looking back on it now, I don't, you know, some people just don't know. And I didn't want to make her feel bad. I just had never been asked that question before. So
Right, like you just assumed it was just going to stay there.
Yeah.
And rot, unless you wanted it for firewood.
Unless you want it for firewood, then absolutely. Yeah. So, yeah, that really happened.
I'm so excited because we have Annette Rose on as our ND of the week this week. She is our favorite title person. She is a cow raiser. I don't know the correct word for this, but she raises the cutest little cows, and there was one born last night, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. So she's our title person here in Dixon, and thank you for coming on today.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm excited to chat with you guys today.
Yeah. All right. So tell us, are you originally from Dixon?
I am.
You are like born and raised?
Born and raised. Been here my whole life. I tried to run away for a little bit to Nashville. That lasted about 6 months, and I came back home.
Came back out here to the country, huh?
Yeah, that's just too much for me.
All right. So you've been in title for how long? Title work.
Can we not talk about how old I am?
To be fair, though, Annette does not look a day over like 30.
Yeah, that's true.
Thank you. I have been doing title since 2020, so 23 years, I guess.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. You said 2020.
2000, sorry.
2000.
2000.
Yeah.
2000.
All right, 23 years. But you most recently decided that title needed to be back to like the good old way of like relationship based. And so kind of like what we're all about here is like humans over transactions, like in that relationship. So tell us a little bit about like what made you kind of decide to make this big move.
Well, I got into this to help people. That was like my goal from day one, was from a situation my parents went through with some title issues when I was younger, and I wanted to be able to help people. And whenever closings became transactions and numbers and how many people can you get in and out the door every month, it just wasn't fun anymore for me or anybody for that matter. And I wanted to go back to that, the friendships and the helping people get into their new home or sell that house, that kind of thing. And so an opportunity presented itself from a sweet friend, and I just said, all right, new game, new fun in town.
A new friend who is also a female running a title company, so we obviously love that very much.
Yes, she's awesome. She's actually a Rutherford County native, lived here her whole life. And she is all about women-owned businesses and women running things. So, yes, you'll have to get her on one day.
All right. So, do you have just like this moment in title that is like, oh my gosh, that really happened? Where it's either absolutely hilarious or absolutely horrific.
You probably have multiples.
I have
of those.
so many stories.
You probably have you could write a book on that probably, right?
Oh, yeah. Some of the stories that come out, funny stuff. But one that I love to tell is a situation that happened in Clarksville where these two sisters were selling a lot of land. And y'all may have heard me tell this before, but they were selling a lot of land. There was a house on it, but the people buying it were just going to develop it into a subdivision. So the sisters didn't think the house needed to be there when the buyers got it, and they literally went in and took everything down to the studs. And the part that was funny about it was everyone sitting at the closing table when the question was asked, hey, is the home in the same or better condition than when you contracted it? And it wasn't. So you have to picture them sitting back, smacking on some gum, going, well, we took the windows and the doors, and continued until it was realized it was studs. So our closer said, hey, you might want to go look at this house one more time before you buy it. Thank God they were able to stop the closing. Yeah.
Oh,
and they went and looked at it. So that's probably the funniest thing that I remember. I don't know if you want me to tell any other stories or not. But,
I love them. Can we hear one more?
What's like a horrific one though? Like what's one that like shocked people?
Yeah.
That would probably be one where a husband came into close and his wife, air quotes, was with him, but she didn't have her ID. And everybody signed and said, well, we can't close it until we need that ID. And kept asking questions. He had a million excuses as to where it was. Little detective work on Facebook found that the wife was actually in another country, was not here, did not know husband was selling the house, and got in touch with her. She did end up allowing it to close, but the thing was her dad had paid for the house, and so the husband was trying to sell it without.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, she allowed it?
She went ahead and closed. Yeah.
But he didn't get all the money, right?
Of course not.
Oh my god.
Oh my, he was trying to do it like out. Oh my goodness.
But wait, what happened to the other lady? Who was the other?
His
Just mistress?
Yeah.
Ooh, it gets so juicy.
Some of the
I have
crazy
so
stories.
many questions about this story. Oh my gosh.
Detective work, and y'all think I sign paperwork every day.
No, she is running full on background checks.
Yeah.
Dude, we have a crystal ball in the office.
Looking at people and seeing what they're up to. All right, so a little off title work. You're not just a title processor. What is your official title? Because I just call you my title person.
Well, I'm a closing agent or the office manager, a million things. But if you want to look at the sign by my door, it says title queen, so we can go with
That
that.
really was in my head, and I don't know if it's because I've seen that sign, but I was like, I think she's a title queen.
So one of my favorite things about Annette is that have you been in her office, Roxanne?
Yeah.
It's all pink. I know. It makes me so happy because I think when you go into some of these offices, they're like very like just cold and stuffy or like masculine.
Feels like a lawyer's office. Many of them.
But when you walk into Annette's office, it's like pink chair, pink keyboard, pink folders, pink stamp, right? Yeah. All right. So you're not just a title queen, though. You do so many other things. You're a mom to 3, right?
Yep.
And then you raise like a whole farm, right?
Yeah, we have a little hobby farm. So now we have 8 cows after the one was born last night.
And they're the Highland cows.
Highland, the long furry with the horns. Yeah. They're grass puppies.
But do they have unique names where they like come running up and like love on you?
They do. We call them by name. The first one we got was Jethro. He was born on the 4th of July, so he has to have the whole country, name. And then we have Maleficent, who is the mama darling. And the rest of them,
Maleficent. That's cute.
Yes, she's a dark black brown color, so she's got that whole look about her.
Mysterious.
Yes, yes. But they are the biggest babies. We call them by name, and actually we can just shake their little treat bucket, and they come running from wherever they are.
Oh.
They follow us around when we go out in the field. It's the sweetest thing.
What else do you have? Is it just the cows?
We have sheep. We did have goats, but we don't have those anymore. And we have chickens. I actually have a shipment of 12 little silkies coming tomorrow.
When you by shipment, like
they're being delivered. Ordered them from a hatchery, so I'll have little baby chicks.
I didn't know that was an option, but now that that's an option, my husband might come home to little baby chicks.
They're the greatest thing. They're so tiny.
Aww.
And you can order what you want versus whatever they have at the store. So
this is a hobby farm. So
Totally.
what does that mean? Does that mean it's for fun?
It's just for fun. My husband grew up where his parents had cows. I did not grow up on a farm, had never been around them really. My grandmother's neighbor had some, but I wasn't involved in it.
Yeah.
And he kept wanting them. That was his goal in life, was to have cows. So we got cows a couple of years ago, and now it's a whole thing.
So how many acres do you have though on your farm?
Almost 18.
Yeah. You got lots of land out there. I love seeing your pictures.
So are you going to add more animals, more varieties of animals, or is this kind of where you're at?
Maybe. I don't want to get too big with it because we do like to travel. So I, have to have somebody come in, feed the animals. I don't want to be too much on anybody. So it's probably going to stay small.
All right. Our last question for you is, what's your favorite place to eat and shop here in Nashville or Dixon even? If you had to pick like your favorite restaurant or boutique.
In Dixon lately, it's been Xander's. I love Camino Real too. We were there once a week at least. In fact, 4th of July, some of them came to our house to
stop.
Yes, we're pretty close.
Which is, for those listening, it is a Mexican restaurant, which there's no shortage of those here in Dixon, but I will say that is probably my favorite one.
Yes, yeah. They're just family. And then, let's see, place to shop, anywhere that'll take my money.
Anything that has something cute. There's definitely no shortage of shops here either.
No.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for joining us and giving us like a little, funny story into Tidal and your farm, and just Annette is the title queen. You heard it here. We appreciate her. We love her so much, and just she's just one of the coolest people that we get to work with.
And so laid back and easygoing, and you make, honestly, like when there's a scary transaction, you make it not so scary, because your delivery, you kind of calm me down a little bit sometimes. So she's a great person to look for if you are in need of a title company.
Yeah, we'll go
call
plug
Annette. High water.
Yeah. I was gonna say we're gonna go plug her here. Yeah. So she's a high water title, and lucky for those who are in the Middle Tennessee area. There's a location here in Dixon. There's a location in Murfreesboro. Is there another one?
There's a Smithville, and we have some people in Chattanooga as well.
Oh, you just covered it all. And I'm sure that they choose amazing people because they've got Annette. So
yes, we have a great team. All of them are amazing.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Annette. I think we should hop into our Southernism segment, which we are so excited to have Megan in on this conversation, on this segment, because she is going to be bringing a new perspective. She is from the North.
I am.
So we have the North, the West, and the South here today. Megan, what are some things that were maybe a culture shock for you when you moved from the North?
How long have you been in Tennessee?
I have been in Tennessee for 22 years.
Okay, so long enough.
Yeah, I moved here when I was 15 from Michigan. Some of the culture shocks, man, there's a bunch. Like, you really do need a passport to come to Tennessee.
Okay, she said this earlier when we said, hey, come do this Southernism segment with us, or just come sit in on this. And she said this, and I looked at her like she was like, what are you talking? What do you mean a passport? And
you thought literally?
Yes, I was very confused. Well, because we have these new passport card rules things with our driver's license now. Anyways, and I was like, what is she talking about? And then she was like, no, because it's so different. So, okay.
Yeah.
So, one thing I will say about the North is we are very short and to the point. Mm-hmm. Like, we're just short and to the point. That comes off as very rude down here. And so it's very hard my husband will always look at me sometimes and tell me, Megan, you've got to be more Southerner. Like, you've got to be a Southerner. Like,
oh, man, when Megan texts you back and it's like a solid just no, nope, yep. I'm like, all right, what are you mad about?
But I'm not. But I'm just short, and I don't realize that. I still have hung on to that. Definitely, like, the number one thing, my very first day of school here, which was a huge culture shock coming to school here. And I came from a very rural, small town in Michigan, too. But I asked somebody where the pop machine was. And everybody looked at me like I was just like, where did this girl come from?
The pop machine.
Everything's Coke down here.
Everything's Coke, yeah.
But you learn to adapt. You learn to pick up some of these funny little sayings. Like, my husband will say, like, handier than a pocket on a shirt. Or finer than frog hair. Or sexier than a rooster in socks. You know?
What?
Yes. These are just some of the sayings.
Sexier than a rooster in socks?
Yep.
I can't wait to use that one later. I'm gonna seduce my husband with that. Honey, you are sexier than a rooster sauce.
I have never heard that before.
Oh my gosh. And of course, the favorite one that everybody always says is bless your heart. And, you know, we all know what that means secretly.
Yeah. Gone back and forth about that a couple times.
Yeah.
What do you call soda, Roxanne? From
Soda.
Okay, so soda.
Yeah, when you said, okay, so now you called it pop, but down here,
It's Coke. Everything's Coke.
so even a Sprite is Coke?
Yep.
Hand me
But
a
what if
Coke.
you-
And
No, but it's hey me a Coke. Well, what kind do you want? Sprite.
it's all Coke.
Dr. Pepper. But it's all a Coke.
Okay. I've never. That's crazy. That doesn't make it confusing when you're ordering.
Well, now if you're at a restaurant, I think you got to be specific about it.
Yeah.
But if like my husband's going to the gas station and I'll say, you know, get
Grab
me a
some
Coke.
Cokes.
You want to? Well, what kind? Coke.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Sprite.
No, we would say soda. But now have you adopted it?
I say soda mostly.
You say soda.
Now I say soda.
Okay, so you didn't adopt the Coke
I
part.
didn't really know.
I can't do that because a Coke is a Coke.
Right.
And sometimes I want a Diet Coke, or sometimes I want.
Right. Well, what
something
kind do you
else.
want? I
No,
want a
but
diet.
what if they don't ask that follow-up question? Then you're gonna get something you don't want.
They'll
Well,
ask.
but it's only like
they?
it's only like Southern people who really use that term. Because
Okay.
again, if you're in a restaurant and you say I want a Coke, yeah, they're gonna give you a Coke.
Yeah.
If you meant Sprite, then you should probably say Sprite.
But then
yeah.
does that make it for if you're a Southern person in a restaurant and you say it, and maybe the waiter doesn't know that, they'll literally get you a Coke, but maybe you didn't. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know what? I mean, you're twisting this, and it's just the way it's always been. Like my mom knows. Like I'll be like, I want a Coke, and she's like, which one?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or like I want a Coke and peanuts. It's not Coke and peanuts. It's Pepsi and peanuts. Like you drink a Pepsi with peanuts in it.
What?
Oh yeah, I need this.
What's wrong
but-
with you?
Pepsi?
Yeah,
with
you take a
peanuts?
bottle of Pepsi, you pour just a little bit out, you get the salted Planters peanuts out of the pack, and you pour it into your Pepsi, and then you eat and drink the.
Do you do this?
I don't, but I have seen it done.
You've seen it done? Have
Yeah.
you tried it?
I don't remember if I did or not. It doesn't seem like it's something that I would want.
I would
See, now,
yeah,
I
love it.
actually think it sounded delicious. But
Yeah,
I've
because
just
you get like
never
that
seen or
salty
heard of
and
it.
sweet with the peanut taste.
But it can only be with a Pepsi?
I mean, you
I've
try
seen
with a
it done
Coke.
with a,
Yeah.
but it has to be a glass Coke bottle. That's how I've seen it. It has to be a
difference, yeah.
glass bottle.
There's a difference.
There's a huge,
Oh, okay. Ooh, this is interesting. I like this.
Also, while we're on the topic of Coke, the only place that you want to get a Coke when you're hungover is McDonald's.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But do you say Coke? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Well, Diet Coke.
I do Coke Zero, so yeah, but yeah.
If we're getting specific.
All right. Well, what kind? All right. We'll move on into our counter offers. These are things that where we make an observation about something in our everyday lives that we think could be made better. Roxanne, go for it. Yours feels pretty recent.
Okay, so my counteroffer is Threads. So everyone jumped on the bandwagon of the new Meta Twitter.
Is it Meta or Meta? Am I saying it wrong?
I think it's Meta.
Okay. All right. I didn't know.
So here's my thing. I jumped on it, and I just don't like it.
I wasn't a Twitter user, so I don't know that I can be a Threads. I'm trying.
So here's the thing is back in the day I was a Twitter user, like a long time ago. And I liked it. You could get your content really fast and like I don't know, it just was more fun to use, I guess. Then, Twitter kind of got crappy. And then now with Threads, yeah, it kind of reminds me of the original Twitter, but I feel like because they didn't do anything new in it, it just makes it fall flat and not fun to use. So probably within 2 days, I was like, this is stupid.
Well, they came out and said that, it was something like 100 million people signed up in a week, but then the usage literally just dropped off. Like, it plummeted.
because it didn't offer anything.
No.
And then you're on Facebook And I don't know if the original thought was that you're going to be on Facebook and Threads simultaneously, kind of doing 2 in 1, because they're so linked.
Can you go from? I thought it was Threads and Instagram.
What did I say?
Facebook.
Oh, no, sorry.
Okay.
Threads and Instagram. Yeah. So, yeah, like in your Instagram account, if you have a Threads, you just click the little number that they assigned you, and now you're popping back and forth. I have a feeling that that's what they wanted you to do.
And you can't delete it either.
No.
So if you delete it, your Instagram's deleted.
Yeah. You can deactivate it or just not use it.
I'm just not going to. I mean, I've tried, but, like, picking up followers is very hard.
Mm-hmm.
It
just didn't offer anything new. And then I don't have any idea of what new, cool, innovative thing Threads could have done, but
it all feels very...
They had a lot more money and they had a lot more brains, and they really just copied the same old thing. So
it feels very repetitive of every other social media platform. Well, I mean, they all feel repetitive. And you've got Instagram and Reels and TikTok, which is the same thing as Reels, but I feel like there's an older crowd on Instagram, which so I tend to hang out on Instagram Reels more. But
I think that Facebook, because Instagram I feel like used to be more the younger, and then TikTok's like really young. But like Facebook, I have seen more people moving over to Instagram from Facebook, like an older crowd. So I think Instagram is probably the one that's still growing the most.
Well, I've embraced Instagram more than Facebook lately. I've picked up all my clients off of Facebook, and I got my first client off of Instagram last week. So that was pretty exciting. I'm just not, there's just a lot. And I think for me, I have to juggle like 5 social media accounts now.
Yeah.
And so it's a lot to remember to put. And if I could just remember to post on Instagram first and let it carry over to, but then it doesn't go to my personal page. It just goes to my business page. And so now I've still got to.
You got to do, multiples. I know. And here's another thing, if we wanted to kind of bring like the West Coast versus the South into this. On the West Coast, Facebook was like dead. Like no one used it. That's why when I moved here, I was like, why is everyone on Facebook?
Well, because we're 10 years behind. And if you gave us the ability to still use MySpace, we'd probably still use I liked my top 8 and my sound for my audio.
I loved MySpace.
Me too. I don't know why we got rid of it.
See, now if Instagram or if Meta had brought MySpace, oh, can you imagine?
I would be all over it.
Skyrocketed. They would have made so much money.
Top 8. My top 8 friends, the music,
the background,
with the different backgrounds, but you could, and there was like websites that you could go to like get the special backgrounds, and you had to put in a special code. Gosh,
it was so good.
Also, if we can bring back like instant messenger while we're at it,
yeah,
why not? Like, why don't we have an instant messenger for our text messages on our phones? Why does it not operate the same? With an away message, y'all, and when I was on my period and I was like 16, I would just make a really big red period dot, and like leave it as my away message. But why can't we have
She was bold.
Yeah. Why can't we have stuff like that?
Well, you know what?
Everything
from the 90s is coming back.
I'm here for it.
Like AOL, they gotta like come back into the game. Are they even still around? People still have
they still have their
AOL.coms,
Yes.
right?
I'm telling you, I just really, if anybody from Apple is listening, probably not, but if you are, I would absolutely love an away message for my text messages.
That would be fantastic.
Wouldn't it? Like, why don't we have that now?
I don't know. They need to, by going back and copying like one platform to another doesn't work. But bring back the thing that everyone loved and revive it. Then that'll work.
Yeah.
So I'm with you.
Yeah, I think that's like my counter offer is can we bring back AOL Instant Messenger, but in the form
And
of our text
MySpace.
messages? Oh, and bring back MySpace.
Or turn Facebook into MySpace, because I want the music. I want the top.
You think Facebook is so draining, and I
do.
I
Yeah.
feel that way about Instagram.
That is so funny.
I don't understand Instagram.
I don't
Yeah.
scroll on Instagram.
I don't either.
Unless it's Reels. If it's not a Reel, I'm not looking.
Yeah.
That's so funny. No.
I try, and
no.
I really try to use Instagram and use it, but I can't. I find myself back on Facebook for everything.
Same.
That is so funny. Yeah. Well, and I guess maybe like that's just the first thing that you started using, and that was what you really dove into first.
True, because I
you
think
know?
I was 16
Yeah.
when Facebook came out, and it was just for college students.
Yeah.
And I was dating a college guy at the time, so I was like, I got to figure out how to get this Facebook account so I can
Yeah.
be cool to him.
Yeah.
And so for me, it was like MySpace faded out, and then we got Facebook. And so I've had it for so long, and Instagram came out like much later.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
And even when Facebook was out, when it was just a college thing, and then everyone could use it, even then I wasn't a big user of it. So when Instagram came out, I was like, oh, this is so much fun. So yeah, we just started on different ones.
I know that I need to be better on Instagram. I know the ability to create a following for business is there, but they'll say, hey, start a new account. And I tried to start a new account, and it didn't, like, nothing.
Why do you
Things
need to
aren't
start a
moving.
new
I don't know. They say
account?
that if you want to grow your Instagram account, start a new account. But like,
Oh, like something in the algorithm is going to favor you because you're new?
I have no idea, but it's exhausting.
Oh,
And I like, and my Instagram followers will like teeter. Like I'll have, 1976 and tomorrow it'll be 1969. And I'm like, seriously? Like what's happening? So it must be all those people deleting threads and losing their Instagram account.
Probably, or they're like killing bots or whatever.
That's true.
Bot accounts.
That's true.
So, well,
Well, thanks for joining us today, Megan. Thanks for hanging out with us. It was a
thanks for
lot of
having
fun. Annette was amazing earlier. And so, thanks for listening. We will see you next week with another cool person that will be joining us for the Indie of the Week. But yeah, we hope you have a fabulous week. If you're here in Tennessee and your kids are heading back to school, we hope school shopping is less painful.
yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully so.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye. If you enjoyed this episode of the Nashville Darlings, please subscribe and find us on Instagram at the Nashville Darlings.